there is a huge pressure in the political landscape. INEC has released the time and the schedule for the elections. The ruling party haven't garnered about 31 or about governors into his camp, making it perhaps the largest in terms of control of the states of the federation by any political party. But it does look like the ADC, the African Democratic Congress, is putting a lot of pressure as a major opposition force against the ruling party. Well, there are controversies, however, about the digital membership drive of the African Democratic Congress after allegation that its online registration portal may have been compromised by fake registration. And there are a lot of Nigerians who are now attempting to go on to the platform to check for themselves whether or not the platform is foolproof. The initiative was launched as part of the party's effort to align with provisions of Nigeria's electoral framework and strengthen its national database of members, and is now facing scrutiny from critics who argue that the system allowed questionable registrations and raised concerns about data integrity. But supporters of the party insist the portal was designed to expand participation and modernize party administration, while dismissing the allegations as politically motivated attempts to undermine the party's credibility. But the controversy has also reignited broader questions about how Nigeria political parties manage digital records ahead of the provisions and the requirement for the elections as provided in the Amendment Electoral Act of 2026. And that protection of sensitive voter information, complying with electoral regulations in an increasingly technology-driven political landscape. Well, joining us tonight to address some of these issues is one of the chieftains of the African Democratic Congress and a prominent social activist, Ms. Aisha Yesufu, who is live for us here in our studio. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me,
I appreciate it. Have you people fixed your portal now?
Our portal has always been fixed.
Really?
Yeah.
Because people were registering Donald Trump, Adolf Hitler, and the rest of it.
Well, thank God we didn't have Burji, the terrorist, you know, because we saw him also on the APC portal. So, but I will tell you that the things that we got were anticipated, and there were always background, you know, checks that were put in place for that to happen. But one of the things that I would tell you is the fact that our registration has generated interest amongst Nigerians, and that's what is very critical. Unlike the ones that have to be paying people to even register, and people are refusing to register, and there are reports of, you know, mining people's name to just register on it. We haven't had that. What we've had is enthusiasm from across the whole of Nigeria.
People to register?
Well, that's the report that is out there, and that's for you to journalists to go and check out and find out really. But there are lots of reports that
are those your friends in the APC? Political
parties, you know, were paying people. A particular political party was paying people to register, and even at that, people were refusing to register. But I'll tell you, we launched our portal on Sunday, and you can see the kind of interest that it has generated amongst Nigerians, and they're so excited about it, you know, both young and old, and in going into 2027 election and say this is a party that they need to be with.
Well, this is what it looks like, isn't it? Initially, the ability to cross-check whether the person is the Nigerian is one thing, which me and my colleagues and the team who have checked through. At first, the NIN verification wasn't really a big deal, but it now will require a verification of your NIN, take your photograph, and get a bit of your background before you can continue.
even for now, like when your NIN is put in, you can actually have your photograph right from when you took your NIN data, and then if you don't like the look and you want to change it, it should just give you retake it.
So the initial problem that you had was that it wasn't foolproof until when you started having the backlash.
Well, it's not necessarily when you started having the backlash. You know, we needed to go to, first of all, you understand that an electoral act that citizens were saying they didn't want that particular electoral act was passed in such manner that you would look at it and that in such questionable manners. We had been working on getting platform up, and then with all the necessary things that were needed, you know, this one is now indicates that you must have your name. Necessarily, on other days when you register for your vote to be a political party member, you necessarily didn't need NIN. And we were looking at more like, you know, using the VIN, which is PVC. You're going to vote, you should have your voter's card and your voter's number. And we had all the NIN that was put there as compulsory. And so, yeah, we did put that in. But one of the things that I would tell you is that up to now, we love criticism. ADC is a party that does not feel that, oh, people shouldn't speak. We want people to express themselves. If they see anything, let them know. And we're really improving. And you know, that's what technology is all about at the end of the day.
That your party launched, which was allowing for fake registration and duplicate entries, that those who will say the system was not properly secured before it launched. Was it launched before time, or was hurriedly launched?
It's not about, no, it wasn't hurriedly launched, and it's not about not being secured. They were just at the back end. A lot of things were, a lot of securities are in there. And so whatever you put in, when you see people say, oh, they have gotten this and this, it doesn't mean that I beg that's what is going to be on the register finally. And the register is literally being updated, being checked, being cross-checked, and all of that. But one of the things that we need to focus on is that there are other political parties, and there is a political party that claims that it has a 30-something plus governors that did launch its, you know, online registration. And for a political party that says it has all of these supporters, but you do not see the kind of attention that it's garnered. It hasn't garnered any attention. And so for us, we are very mindful and very grateful to Nigerians in the interest that they have shown, and in the number of minutes, in a minute, the, you know, hundreds and hundreds of registration that is being done. I would tell you it's quite gratifying. And you see where I talked about retake? You understand? So when you put it and you put in your name, it verifies, it brings out the passport that you had on it. So if you feel you don't like this passport, you want to take another one, you retake it.
This is one of the things that we're trying at the back end right here, right now, to see if this is foolproof. And you can continue. I want my producers to click the continue button. Is one of our colleagues who is doing a demo on it. Okay, he's asking you
so I have to ask you, because these are certain things. There are 9 things that INEC...
You have to. I know you are not a farmer.
Now Electoral, the thing is asking. You could be a farmer, though.
No, the person here who is trying that is not a farmer. So you can put a farmer for a trial. So let's see how this works, though. But there are those who say your party criticizes INEC, but yet you are having glitch.
Yeah, nobody said that glitches don't happen. I mean, it's technology. There's nothing that is foolproof. But when whatever happens, you take responsibility. Has INEC taken responsibility for the glitch that you had in 2023? Have they done anything about it? They haven't even said anything about it. There hasn't been any forensic investigation. There's nothing to show that they're going forward, that they are responsible enough to do the right thing. So you see from whatever it is that people talked about now, you go in and we continue to get feedback. And I'm still telling you, we will still continue to improve on this, because technology changes all the time. And we are a party that is really very serious on hearing the feedback from the people. We want the criticism. We are not, you know we have the competence, and whenever anything comes in, we are not on the defensive. What we do is that we continue to improve upon it.
Your party was the first to come out, and your party feared compliance with the new electoral law provision. When INEC released the timetable to say, look, the timelines that you are giving political parties to produce a digital record of its members is too close. Well, a political party member seemed to have maybe known beforehand that this was going to happen, and they started it a long time, and your party said, we reject the timeline and the schedule of activities as released by INEC. Do you think that your party might be able to meet up and comply with that requirement of the Electoral Act as amended?
One of the things I would say, and I'm sure people that have followed the online launch of our digital platform would understand, is that this is a party that works under pressure, no matter what is coming on, and it's ready to take feedback and work towards it. The fact that we can get it done doesn't mean that it is right in the way and manner in which everything was put together. First of all, you saw the manner in which the Electoral Act itself was passed, in the way that at the National Assembly they passed it. It was accepted within hours. I think less than 24 hours, if I'm not mistaken. And that's questionable, especially for an act that a lot of people are saying that no. And you see how a lot of it's almost as if it's a booby trap. it's a landmine for, I guess, opposition. And you're seeing the issue coming out now that there's even a situation whereby the issue about you having a fake certificate and all of that, falsifying your age, being an electoral offense has been taken out of it. So these are things that are questionable. And my party really is saying that this is not the way things are going to be done. You know, when we talk about a level playing field, when you talk about a credible election is not just when you go to the polls and then you vote, nothing happens. It starts from now, where some people seem to have insider information and begin to use it to their advantage. Even in businesses, even in stock trading and all of that, that's a crime. So why do you have that in the political scenario? So that's what my party is talking about. And I think for every Nigeria going into 2027, we must begin to understand that credible, free, fair, credible election, you know, is sacrosanct, and that's the thing that must begin.
Madam Yesufu, if this is happening early in the day, do you fear that something might be down the road? There's something that you probably don't know that is in the offing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is APC has not shown it's a party that has the credibility to do the right thing. It has always shown itself to behave in an anyhowness kind of manner. Of course, we know those things are going to come, but we are confident about the fact that Nigerians are tired, and this is not just about, you know, this party, but Nigerians are taking it. And as we go into 2027, let me tell you, Seun, it's a war we are going into. Nigeria, yes, it's a war. And let me land. We are fighting for our lives. We are fighting for the soul of Nigeria. It is no longer business as usual. It is now business unusual. We are not going to sit back where some people think that they have the monopoly of anyhowness or madness. Every one of us, there's best in the psychiatric hospital for every one of us. We want to show that madness. All of us will sit down and do it. And so as we go on, it's not the one that people are going to fold their hands. And I say something. The other day I was saying something. A lot of times people talk about revolution is the only way to go and all of that. See, there's no better day to do a revolution than on election day, where none of us even have anywhere to go. So we will come out, we will stand there, we will all vote, ensure that the votes are entered the way they are, escort them to whatever, because we don't even trust the electronic transmission now with the caveat that has been put in there. When there was even a caveat, they didn't do it, talk less of now that they have a caveat and a whole lot of things. But like I said earlier, it's a war where Nigerians are fighting for their lives and also for the soul of the
There are those who will say, God forbid a war.
We're already in a war. How many soldiers have they killed in the last 2 weeks? In short, they are killing more people in Nigeria
Not because of any elections we have any war.
No, but we are already at war. We are fighting for our soul. We are fighting for our lives. People are being killed. Shay, you and I are sitting down here. A youth corps or someone who recently finished his youth corps was kidnapped by terrorists. They shot him. They were jumping on him. You and I are here sitting down freely. And what they had to do fundraising for the family. They raised 10 million naira that they didn't have. They took it to the terrorists, and then they have stopped even taking the cost of the parents, and there's even fears that the guy has been killed. We are at war. Let's not pretend that we are sitting here and we can drink coffee and eat and wear and sit in air-conditioned this thing. This nation is at war. They're killing more Nigerians, killing more of our military. A major general was killed a few days ago, more than people who are actively in war. So let's call a spade and not a garden implement.
But the question, I mean, what I'm trying to correct is for the idea about war in this election.
It's a war. We are fighting for our lives and the soul of Nigeria.
So that's how the ADC is seeing this election as a war.
That is how it is. That is how Nigerians are saying it.
You know the implication of that.
That is how
when
Nigerians are saying
election.
We are fighting for the soul of this nation, and we're fighting for our lives because we are being killed now. We are in war, and this war is for us to save ourselves and save our country. And so citizens are looking at it from that point, and citizens are going into 2027 saying it's not going to be business as usual. Who is the antagonist and who is the protagonist? It is going to be business unusual.
Who is the antagonist and who is the protagonist in this war you are describing?
You know where it is. Nigerians are the ones who are saying they're fighting for their lives, and they will do everything to protect their lives and the soul of this nation. You know why? Because this nation does not belong to a few people. No Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. We all are citizens, and we should have a nation where we would travel, not the ones that will have videos sent to us of our loved ones where terrorists are jumping after torturing them, beating them up, and jumping on top of their bodies. Everybody's lives must be secured, and as long as one person is not safe, none of us is safe.
The issue that you've fixed with your portal, who is responsible for that error or for that gap?
There's no error or gap that is going on. Whatever was done at the back end, everything was being secure. Aisha Yesufu, I'm the
to have allowed for fraudulent and
Oh, you know, let me tell you something. You understand? There are different things that you see out there on the space, and there are different people that will bring out all manner of things out there on the stage. So what, like I think it's Turuji, something Buruji, Turuji or something.
Turuji.
Bello Turuji, I think something.
Yeah.
I saw a card of his on his APC membership card online. And so there are so many of them. I think I've seen Hitler online with APC membership card. I've seen Donald Trump with also APC, you know, membership card. But what I would say to you is that as we go on the system, it's going on. It's whatever it is like. But every measure, all data are protected. Everything was locked up from the back end, being checked, ensuring there's data protection, because that's something that we take extremely very seriously. And whatever you have there is to continue for us to have feedback. And as we go on now, by tomorrow, I expect people to find out more things and for us to get better. Because the more you come in and tell us how we can, you know, make the site better, the more at the end of this day, the registration, the online registration is good. But I'll just say to you, Shehu, and which is really what I want to focus on. Just to say to Nigerians, we're really grateful and we're overwhelmed and overjoyed with the way that the online registration of the African Democratic Congress has been taken, has been received by Nigerians, and we're overwhelmed with the love that they have shown. And to say, I listen to some of the calls that come in, how people are happy and grateful that there is an opposition party that is ready to stand, you know, order for order. Men will mount, women will mount come 2027 by the grace of God.
How many people so far do you have in your database now?
A lot.
Was up to a million?
A lot. I'm not going to give you any this thing. A lot. And when I say a lot, hey, Nigeria.
You are the chair.
We're happy.
You are the chair.
Yes, I'm the chair of the online registration subcommittee. Yes, absolutely. I'm the chair, but I'm not here to give you the information or whatever it is. But let me tell you something. Nigerians, we're grateful. We are overwhelmed with the joy and love that you all have shown us.
You're talking about, is it going to be able to match the ruling party that has...
Do they have anything? That's why they have... Yeah, they have 30 governors. We have over 200 and something million Nigerians, minus the 30 governors and the few of the supporters that they have. So that's...
And with entrenched political structures.
Well, political structures are people. Political structures are not building that you put all over the place. And so we, the citizens, we as African Democratic Congress, we have that political structure. We have the people all over Nigeria who are really excited. And you know the thing about it, and I'll tell you something. The ADC is not mincing the words that, you know, when it comes to money, that the APC can outspend the ADC. Definitely they can outspend it because they have our coffers, our national wealth at their disposal to do whatever it is that they're going to do with it. But one thing that I can tell you, they cannot outpassion us. And you know, when people are driven by passion, they go the extra mile more than the people who are paid to do anything. And so we know that we have the support of Nigerians, we have the passion of Nigerians, and Nigerians have really shown us overwhelmingly that indeed they were waiting for this. And even before we launched the online portal, there were a lot of calls for it, for the registration, membership cards, and all of that. I would say on behalf of the African Democratic Congress, we are grateful Nigerians.
Madam, what do you say to Nigerians tonight who will probably be asking about the trust and credibility of a political party platform whose membership system had an initial problem, and whether or not you wanted to this government out of power, and yet your system is being tested with this kind of glitch that you're saying? How can Nigerians trust you to be able to take charge of a country as complex of this nature when you're having an initial problem with your membership portal?
Sure, you know, sometimes I'll say show nowadays. When you ask question, I'm running showing. Why are you saying why would they trust us? Because there was an initial glitch, like you said. Initial glitch. Did you ever try to register and you were not able to register? That's what an initial glitch is. There was nothing.
Did you hear the complaints of people?
In everything, in every online.
But you said
there will be no.
You're doing the back end. You're doing the back end.
There's always back end. You don't sit down and go and sleep, and that's why we have the ruling party has come into, you know, having the propaganda to to get into office, and they stay office and they do nothing. Nothing says no. There's no website where you're not improving on it, where you're not working on it. It never had any problem. Even this glitch you're talking about, there was no glitch. Was there ever a time that you went to register and you didn't register? Was there ever a time that you went to register and the page was down, or the website was down, or the web app was down? There was nothing. There was nothing like that. You register what you had.
Allowing.
Can you do that?
You said
now?
You fixed it. That's what you said.
No, can you do?
You said we fixed it.
Can you do that now? When you say glitch, those are different things. Of course we're improving. Even this one that you have here, we will improve it when people come with different things. Technology is something that it's not static. You understand? It's dynamic and it keeps improving. And I will tell you something. If you had gone back the other way, we brought in the download your card to the front page. It wasn't there before. So when you say there are things that are being called incorrect, it doesn't mean there's a glitch. There's no glitch. And for you to now relate it to whether the party is ready to take on Nigeria, Nigeria itself is a glitch. You see your download card there? Initially, it wasn't there. If you had come on Monday or Sunday, it wasn't there.
So you're improving it as you go.
Exactly. Everything is about improvement. And that's why I'm telling you that as a party, we listen to Nigerians. We are not like the ones who are deaf.
Is that how you're going to run government?
It's not Nigerians who are deaf and do nothing. I need to answer the other question where you talked about whether this is how we are going to govern the nation. Right now, Nigeria as a whole, as it is a glitch. There is nothing working, whether economically, in terms of security, we don't have any of that. I just explained to you people that are being taken away, people that are being killed, and terrorists coming out to show us their faces. Nigeria is a glitch on its own. It's on standstill. There's no governance, and nothing is going on. So when you say that whether because, there is this thing, whether we are ready, we are more than ready. And Nigerians know that this is the time. There are people here who are saying, we will listen. And yes, of course, we will listen. Always listen to Nigerians. Quickly,
because I need to close now. The one question is, this is a digital, this is mostly an elite kind of platform. What about the people in the interior of Nigeria who don't have access to it? Are you taking care of that?
Absolutely. There's no part in Nigeria where you don't have network. And the simple fact I will say to you, if you want to go and collect money, you use this thing. There's no part in Nigeria that you go to, you'll not be able to collect money, you'll not be able to see people register. So forget that thing that they push on this thing. There are people who ordinarily might not have data on their phone to do that. We also have the physical, this thing we're filling at each ward. They can fill up a form. And then this form, when they fill up, they get to sleep.
At the grassroots?
At the grassroots, we upload them. Right. At the grassroots, you go to the office, you get this form. And there are people who are ready to also register.
Quickly, I just have about 20 seconds for you to answer this question, Madam Yesufu. It's going to be a very tight election.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a very tough one. And the battle will be on. What hopes do you have that your party stand a chance in this election?
High hopes. And let me tell you something. The father you see,
Tinubu has never lost an election.
Yes, absolutely. He has already lost. That's why he's looking for governors that he put together to have illusion of power. You understand? That's what it is all about. Once upon a time, I think PDP had 20-something governors. It didn't stop them losing election when it was time for them to lose. The fact that they don't have the people, and you could see it when they were doing their registration, where nobody was interested, nobody cared, nobody even bothered to go, to their website or web app or whatever it was that they were doing. But you can see with the ADC the kind of excitement that it has garnered. Right. And like I said to you before, passion. Nigerians are passionate, and we're going to do this by the grace of God.
Madam Aisha Yesufu, never in doubt about her passion and her activism in everywhere. Either she's talking politics or she's talking social issues. Aisha Yesufu, a chieftain of the ADC and a social critic and activist. Thanks so much indeed.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate it.